Welcome to the Speech and Leadership Club event. Students, faculty, supporters, friends, thank you for being here today. I am your Majesty, President of the SLC. Standing alongside with me today is my incredible hostess from the club member as well, Alma. And I would like to begin by offering a heartfelt thank you to Professor Tani. I know I speak for all of us that you're not just our mentor, you are true inspiration. So thank you for making this possible. Today's event is all about sharing stories. Through stories, we connect, we learn, we educate, we grow together. And we have put a lineup of speakers, very talented from our club. I couldn't be more proud of my fellow members of this Speech and Leadership Club. That what they're about to do, it takes courage.
In times like this, it's often easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism, oppression, or the systems that silence us. That's why we need a little hope, a little tenderness, and maybe a little magic to challenge that. Whenever I was sick as a child, my grandma would tell me, "Sana sana, colita de rana, si no sana hoy, sanará mañana." Today when I say it, I want you all to repeat just the last word, mañana, so we can all heal together. Sana sana, colita de rana, si no sana hoy, sanará
mañana.
Thank you for giving me 100 more years of youth and beauty. Just kidding. But seriously, thank you for being here, for listening, and for remember, change always starts when someone dares to speak it into existence. Thank you.
And now we begin the speeches. First in line, we have Justin. He is the Secretary of the Speech Club and also a Senator for the Student Government. Justin.
Hello, everyone. The last time I stood before you, I spoke about how love can conquer hate. Today, I'm here to speak to you about how hope can power its way through any hardship. Christopher Columbus hoped that he would find a new world as he set across the Atlantic. Lewis and Clark hoped they would find new land as they journeyed across America. Mind you, these people had found land that was already discovered, but hope got them through their voyage. We hope close ones do not get falsely arrested and then deported. We hope that loved ones stay healthy so that they do not have to pay a devastating medical bill. We also hope that higher tariffs really do mean more jobs and a lesser cost of living. How many times have you felt hopeless within this last year? If your answer is any more than 0, you must make a change. You must adopt the phrase, yes I can. Yes I can make it through the next semester. Yes I can make it through this next 3 years. Will I be able to support my friend who is facing deportation? Yes, I can. Look around you. No one here is an alien. No one here is illegal. We are all the same person going through the same uphill battle. Only together and supporting one another can we navigate through this maze of life without leaving anybody behind. Supporting each other with love, compassion, and the knowledge we possess. So, when life beats you down, and you're starting to feel hopeless. Asking yourself, can I make it? Your first and only response to that should be, yes, I can. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Justin. As an immigrant myself, it's really important to hear people speak up for us. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, sorry. Now with the next speaker, we are going to have Mary, who is studying to become an educator because she loves children. And she's going to speak to us a little bit about Journey to Liberation. Please clap for me.
Liberation sounds dramatic, right? Like something out of a documentary. But honestly, my version of liberation
I don't have a major.
looks a
Mine's
little
clear.
different.
You could say
Sometimes
medium major.
It's saying
Medium major.
no
Medium.
and actually meaning it. Sometimes
Yeah. As
it's
a
walking
musician,
away
I'm
from people
like,
and situations that don't bring peace. And sometimes it's going to the bar to party even though I haven't finished my homework. Yep, I said it. I'll wait until the last possible minute to do that assignment because I chose self-care. And by self-care, I mean dancing, laughing, and pretending I don't have responsibilities for a few hours. And you know what? I don't feel bad about it. Because for a long time, I thought I had to earn rest. I thought I had to have it all together before I could have fun. But I'm done with that. For me, liberation means letting go of all the pressure to be perfect and to be everything for everyone. Dr. Brain Brown in her 2012 research said, owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our lives running from it. That hit home because I've spent enough time running from expectations, from guilt, from burnout. Now I'm choosing to live, not just survive, but live. Loudly, messily, joyfully, even if that means writing a paper at 11:58 p.m. because I prioritize dancing in a crowded room with friends who make me feel alive. Liberation doesn't always look noble. Sometimes it looks like choosing you, even when that choice isn't the most responsible, but it's actually what your spirit needed. Thank you.
Isn't she a little bag of joy? Next speaker, he is got an architecture major, and he's also a nature lover. Please welcome Noe.
How many of y'all love sea turtles? They're cute, aren't they? Well, we need to act now because they're endangered. The habitats in which they live in are polluted because of human waste. Additionally, another reason why they are endangered is because of carbon emissions. By reducing the amount of plastic that we use, we can keep our environment clean, reduce fossil fuels, and save the turtle. The first thing I want to talk to you about today is that by reducing the amount of plastic that we use, we can keep our environments clean.
Our world right now is filled with a lot of plastic waste. If you walk by Lake Merritt right now, you'll probably find a plastic bag floating around somewhere. Secondly, to make plastic, by reducing the amount of plastic we use, we can reduce the amount of carbon emissions in the air. It takes, for plastic to be made, it takes crude oil, and if we increase the amount of crude oil that we use, we also increase the amount of pollution that goes into the air, which is not good for our health. Thirdly, by reducing the amount of plastic that we use, we can save the sea turtle. The habitats of the sea turtles are really polluted. There's plastic everywhere. If a piece of plastic, like a piece of fork or a straw, goes into the esophagus of a sea turtle and it reaches their stomach, they will die. According to worldwide wildlife, it states that 3 species of sea turtles are endangered, with 2 species of sea turtles critically endangered. Now, we can solve these problems by reducing the amount of plastic that we use. One way to reduce plastic is by reusing the plastic bags that we get from the store. Or we can also use the textile bags and use those. Another way we can reduce the amount of plastic that we use is to use paper cups, straws, and plates, and instead of plastic ones. The third way that we can reduce the amount of plastic that we use is to use metal straws instead of plastic ones, because metal straws can be recycled an infinite amount of times. Another option is to buy a rubber straw, and the rubber straw can be used more than one time, but the rubber straw it's hard to recycle, but they can be used more than one time. Imagine a world where your kids will be able to have a clean environment, breathe fresh air, and see the sea turtles. We have a whole world to gain. So use less plastic and save the sea turtles. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noe. We also love nature, and that was very educating. Now with us, we're gonna have Tim, who is a business student, who is originally from Vietnam. Let's clap for Tim.
Okay, friends, neighbors, and members of this wonderful community. Look around you. See the faces of who laugh with you, who lend a helping hand in times of needs, who share in the joys of our collective success. This tapestry of individuals woven together by shared spaces and experiences is our community. And like any precious thing, it thrives when it is nourished with love and care. Think of love not just in its romantic sense, but in its broadest form. Empathy, kindness, and genuine concern for one another's well-being. Think of care as the active expression of that love, the small gestures, the thoughtful words, and the willingness to step up and support those around us. Why is nourishment so vital? Because a community without love and care can become brittle and fractured. Walls of indifference between us can rise. Misunderstandings can fester, and the very fabric that binds us can begin to wear out. We risk becoming a collection of individuals in proximity rather than a true community where everyone feels safe, seen, valued, and supported. But when love and care are present, something beautiful happens. Trust blossoms, resilience strengthens, creativity flourishes as we feel safe to share our ideas and vulnerabilities. Look at Finland, a country that has been consistently ranked as the world's happiest country for 8 consecutive years, according to World Happiness Report. So they have a very strong social support networks with a high degree of trust among their citizens. This translates to a strong sense of community where individuals feel supported and they can rely on each other. They also have like a very strong sense of equality and inclusion, where the Finnish society prioritizes equality and inclusion and fostering an environment where people can feel valued and connected. This helps reduce the social conflict and promote a sense of belonging for everyone in the community. This is according to This is Finland in March 2025. And also they have accessible and high quality welfare systems. Finland's commitment to universal healthcare, education, and social support system ensures that basic needs are met and opportunities are available to all. And at last, they have a culture of trust and cooperation. This deep-rooted culture of trust in institutions, governments, and citizens fosters a cooperative and supportive community in Finland. So in conclusion, these acts, seemingly small on their own, create a ripple effect. One act of kindness can inspire another. One moment of understanding can bridge a divide. By consciously choosing love and care in our daily interactions, we can collectively cultivate a community where everyone feels they belong, safe, and has the opportunity to thrive. Thank you.
I love you, Tim. Our next speaker is former president of the speech club. So proud of him. So inspiring. Charles.
Hello everyone, how are y'all doing today? Alright, so today I wanted to talk to you all about the economy, the thing that's been all over the news, how unstable it is or whatever they've been saying on the news. So basically, pretty much everything on the news or on the internet you can find just says that tariffs are the reason why we're facing economic instability right now. So why would President Trump want this? So according to the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the threat of just sudden tariff hikes are a way to force other countries to come to the negotiating table. And according to Trump himself, it's a way to get rid of trading deficits, which are basically when you buy more than you sell to a country. So why are tariffs causing economic chaos? Well, that's because they increase the prices of things because everything you buy from another country that has tariffs is going to have a tax on it, which makes it more expensive to build there or buy from there. So which makes it so that companies that rely on the global trade network for building their stuff or buying materials are going to have to pay more. So they don't want to expand or make new jobs because it's more expensive to do so now. So they're scaling back, which could mean that no new jobs or less growth or no growth, I guess. So due to that, most companies will probably just sit around and wait to see how things turn out. So that's why we have slow economic growth. And that's basically just what I wanted to talk to you all about. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for that, Charles. Okay. Now with us, we're gonna have a psychology major. Let's give it up for Daniel.
Today I'm going to speak about the importance of self-care as social action. Self-care is often been spoken of or portrayed as a form of luxury, particularly in terms of products and things like that. But in reality, self-care is an important part of not only being able to do social action, but doing it. Recently, I was unable to attend a large protest that I really wanted to go to because as I was ill. Someone who I spoke with pointed out that kindness towards ourselves in this fragile and fractured state particularly, is standing up against the powers that want to say we aren't worth anything. That kindness towards ourselves is as important in a way as going out and marching in protests. That was what inspired me to do the speech. In Rest as Resistance by Tricia Hersey, she talks about relentless productivity as an artifact of colonialism, particularly in that case as an artifact of slavery, in that those who produced in some way or were shown as valuable were allowed to live. And it's not as obvious in regular society, but people are still valued by what you do instead of who you are, instead of your being as a person, instead of existing. When we buy into that narrative, we buy into the power structure that says we are only useful and only worth being alive, basically, if we produce something that they want. My father, as a child in Holland, was in a work camp. Not even because of anything about my family, we weren't Jewish, but simply because the resistance in Holland was so pervasive, they put you in a work camp or relocation camp if you simply weren't collaborating enough. And my family actually had been like hiding Jews in an attic, and my grandparents were into English, and if anyone knew about that, I would be here. But although in a work camp especially, if you produce something, you are literally allowed to live. The other thing that determines survival. Viktor Frankl talked about this in Man's Search for Meaning, which he wrote in the concentration camp about how finding meaning allows us to exist, and connecting to other people in these small moments that show that you're still human are what allows us to exist through horrifying circumstances. Treating each other as human is as important as treating ourselves as human, too.
Thank you, Daniel. Our next speaker is inspired urban planning engineer and a friend, Sam.
Actually, it's an urban planner. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Samuel, and I will be talking about terms. Mostly the term illegal alien, illegals, everything that you hear on the news when it's referring to undocumented immigrants. So to give one context why I just thought about the topic first, is one day I was in a restaurant ordering lunch as usual before going to work, and I heard two people talking. One of them was a white man and the other was a black boy. Curiously enough, the white male said something that stood out to me. He complains about the illegals getting more tax benefits than Americans. And whether that claim is true or not, that's another conversation. But the term really threw me off, the illegals. How casual you say it. I feel like that word has some sense of dehumanization as well with alien. I can explain why, but I feel something like a mixture of anger and surprise because it was so sudden. That's where I stopped and thought more about that word. When I was a child, a 12-year-old child, I first encountered the word alien while looking at documents when I entered the border. I just threw me off because in my little childish mind, I said, I'm not an alien. I'm not an alien. I was born on Earth. Why is the government or people here considering me from an outsider? Like, think about it. Think about the word alien. What do you think about mostly when you hear alien? Well, if you're influenced by television, you will think like a little small creature, green, green color, chocolate, mostly made of a weird jelly type of flesh. Very strange, right? But on the legal definition, meaning laws, an alien is defined as the following. It's defined. Well, I don't have the exact definition right now, but it is defined as a person who is not a citizen of the United States or a foreign national. And yeah, basically I just thought that I don't come from outer space, and it just threw me off. Now, from the term illegal, the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it defines not according to or authorized by law. There are plenty of illegal things, like tax evasion, like robbery, like also substances. Like, it's depending where you live, marijuana is not legalized. Do you notice what these things have in common? Most of these things are either actions or objects. So now I beg the question, how can a person be illegal? Are you saying that the mere existing of a person, me for example, my existence is illegal? It's like a question I get more often when I hear that term. I would like to quote from Ashley R. Shapiro from the University of Richmond. The term criminal alien is a strategic sleight of hand. These laws establish the concept of criminal alienhood that has slowly but purposely redefined what it means to be unauthorized in the United States. Such a criminality and unauthorized status are too often considered synonymous. And I noticed this more recently when I encounter undocumented immigration. Most people just say, well, their crime was just crossing the border, therefore they're illegals. And I feel like pointing out and calling people that way just puts the word, the action first, right, the person, and it erases a perception of a person. I have another quote from another scholar that I think is very interesting. Joanna Hultberg from the Northeastern University said, the words used to describe immigrants as illegal, unauthorized, alien, is a form of identity first, as opposed to person first, language. That is, at its core, dehumanizing. Like I mentioned, it puts first the action rather than the person. We have to remember that undocumented immigrants are just people like everybody, like me, who I'm speaking right now, to your peer who is sit next to you. They have families, they have jobs, they have responsibilities, they have their own beliefs, they have their goals. So by calling them an alien or an illegal, I feel like it just erases what a person is, and it just transforms into a concept mostly made to dislike us. So this is quite strange to me, but I would like to propose something. Instead of calling them the illegals, the aliens, let's just call them persons, humans. Maybe they weren't authorized to enter, but that does not mean to strip away their humanity. Call them what it is, people seeking for a better life. Thank you.
Were you?
Thank you so much, Sam. And let's speak on it. No one is illegal on stolen land. Okay, now with us we have Julian, who is a musician and a filmmaker who is studying to be a media major. Please clap for Julian.
Within the last few years, searching the internet has changed. Have you noticed? People with impossibly smooth skin, too many limbs, or saccharinely cute animals in weird situations. It's been inundated with fake images generated by AI. I want to talk a little bit about that and why it's detrimental to humanity. I'm an artist myself. And a core component of generative AI is that it steals from us. It trains itself on our work without our consent. But the problem isn't that it's derivative, it's that it exploits, which is an inherent quality of the capitalist machine that unleashed AI upon us. This is a natural progression of things in the system. Why hire and underpay an artist if you can use their work for free or for a small monthly subscription? You see, generative AI is a booming business. The combined corporate value of companies like OpenAI and A21 Labs in 2023 was an estimated $48 billion. This isn't to say that the work of these programmers, this isn't to say the work that these programmers have done to create these tools is an achievement, but what gives them the right to take what makes people human and commodify it? They certainly didn't ask my permission. In a study called AI Art and its Impact on Artists from 2023, they state, quote, most philosophers of art and aesthetics argue that while non-human entities can have aesthetic experiences and express affect, a work of art is a cultural product that uses the resources of a culture to embody that experience in a form that all who stand before it can see. I agree with this conclusion. These images are technically made by no one, with no cultural or emotional purpose. It's not even art in the first place. So why should it exist? It's profit for profit's sake. The issue of corporations can be fought with regulations, which we should absolutely fight for with the power of our vote. In, quote, from a race to AI to a race to AI regulation, Regulatory Competition for Artificial Intelligence, by Natalie A. Smuha in 2021, she discusses the challenges regulators across the world are facing in drawing up both enabling and protective regulations on AI. I recommend we all pay attention as this develops. But another facet to this issue is a bit more interesting to me. The regular people who generate these images and talk about it online. I often find them to be very rude, dismissive, and arrogant. In comic sections telling artists to cry more, and that the time of conventional artists is over and they will all be out of work. Why? I believe it's because they hold a deep insecurity, and these tools have given them a way to cope by holding some power over the ones they perceive as superior. At some point in their lives, they lost the belief that they could be artists themselves. Practicing didn't seem worthwhile, so they dropped the pencil. But I don't buy that. Anyone can be an artist anytime. Those with more skill are not superior, and neither are those without it inferior. So what I want to do is reach out a hand to these people, to encourage them not to give up on truly expressing themselves. Even the most annoying person who rides for AI art still wants to make something that holds meaning to them, that others can see and admire. In order to liberate ourselves from AI art, the solution is to simply make more artists, to continue to inspire the people around us, to teach them and learn, to never let each other lose hope in the endeavor of practicing. Just pick up the pencil, the brush, the marker. We'll all be better for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. In a world that is becoming more artificial, the only thing that you can do is become more human, right? To stand out. So the next speaker, it will be, he is pretty well known around campus. He has a major in mechanical engineering, but more than that, he's an advocate for human rights. Please welcome John.
Hello, beautiful people. Before I start my formal speech, I want to respond to what we witnessed so far and the great speeches that have been spoken so far. These have been an expression of your humanity and of your profound righteous anger towards all that is going against humanity. So I want to propose that after we're done with our formal speeches, that we come together, and that's to everyone, not just people that gave speeches here today, that we come together and discuss what was just spoken to today. Informally, or if people want to grab the mic afterwards, if that's okay. Anyways, I just want to propose that. I don't know if I have the authority to propose that, but I'm just putting that out there. On that note, anyone who's in the audience who's not spoken so far, I think should feel they are welcome to speak here today, to respond to anything they heard, or just anything that came up from what they were thinking of. So anyways, to get started, to quote Bob Dylan, "The hour is late, and there is no time to speak falsely now. The fascist Trump regime must go now." More than just preaching to the choir, I want all of you to think about what love, liberation, and a lending hand mean in this moment, in this time of extreme danger and extremely positive possibilities. We can actually drive this fascist regime from power. And whether or not we do is truly life and death for the billions of people here and around the world. Passive acceptance, on the other hand, retreating into small communities, is collaboration with this fascist regime. In this moment, love is all those who feel the same way about this, reaching out far and wide to those who hate this fascism, defending the rights and lives of those who are coming under attack from this fascism, and for us in our increasing numbers to go on the offensive against this fascist regime, powerfully demanding the Trump fascist regime must go now. A lending hand means finding your place in the millions, the tens of millions, filling the streets day after day, and with this powerful unifying demand. And the many, many more, the artists, lawyers, judges, students, government employees, all of those refusing to comply with this fascist regime and using their platforms to express this in creative and powerful ways. Liberation means within those many, many millions who are united with this demand, the Trump fascist regime must go now. Within that, within those people from many different perspectives, uniting and overcoming all divide and conquer schemes. Within that, a growing, powerful, organized, disciplined revolutionary force, the RevCom Corps for the emancipation of humanity, becoming conscious followers of the revolutionary leader Bob Avakian, who has developed a strategy for such a revolution and is leading a revolution for a whole new way to live in a fundamentally different system. Spreading this leadership in a powerful way with those united against this fascist regime. Raising people's sights to a whole new way to live in a fundamentally different system. A whole new way to live in a fundamentally different system. A whole new way to organize society with a radically different economy and a foundation, a radically different foundation, a radically different political system, and emancipating relations among the people, an uplifting culture. All of this aimed to finally get humanity free. Oh, and again, I think we should open this up not just to speeches and monologues, but open this up to discussion amongst all of us. That would be awesome, I think. And I don't have enough of them for everyone here, but I have the, one second. Okay. I have these beautiful pamphlets. They're here for everyone who wants one. Trump MAGA fascism, what we're really facing and what must be done to defeat it before it's too late, by Bob Avakian. You can have this for free. I'm getting thousands more as soon as possible. Okay.
Thank you so much, Don, and I completely agree. They often, Robert, sorry. Thank you so much, Robert. And yes, I completely agree. They often have us fighting culture wars to avoid having a class war. So with that, we have our next speaker. We have Tatiana, who has the most lovely energy, and she studied to become an X-ray technician. Let's clap for Tatiana.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Lainey. I welcome each and every one of you. We thank you guys for being here. Today we want to talk about what? Love, nurturing, leadership. Anyways, nurturing. Nurturing is... What have you done to nurture yourself today? Have you been doing that lately? Ask yourself, look around in your community. Have you guys been nurturing each other, yourselves? See? It's time for us to do this, to come together as a community, as one. Right now, that's what Lainey's trying to provide to each and every one of us, to come together, to teach us community, loving each other. This is a very different dynamic of people. This is our leadership group. For you guys to come and join us would be very outstanding. For you guys to understand who you are and what we stand for. As a community, as one, us together, we can do tremendous things. Here in the Bay Area, we have rappers that stand out to help our community in thousands of different ways. One's name is Mr. Fab. He went from being a rapper to become a designer in clothing, and now he's a community person that's putting together a community for kids to speak to themselves, to understand who they are, to become the best that they can be. So today, it's about showing up for each other as well as showing up for yourself. So I thank you for giving us this moment and this time to build a community here at Langley. People in our community make a difference. What can we do to nurture our community and each other? Thank you.
Well said. Bats down, Tatiana. Our next speaker, classmate of mine from Communications 1A. Please welcome Billy. Where's Billy? Girl.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good day today. And also, you guys look amazing. So, I just want to address a challenge that knows no borders or respect no boundaries and affect countless lives around the globe, which is homelessness. It's a topic that evokes different images and perception depending on where you are in the world. Yet, beneath the surface, the root causes remains eerily similar, binding us in a globe struggling against poverty, inequality, and social exclusions. I invite you all today to join me on a journey through complexity of homelessness, the challenges that lies ahead, and most importantly, the evidence-led solution that offer hopes to me, to you, in the United States of America and around the world. There is a lot that unites us all. There are common trends linking us worldwide, shared experience. First, let's talk about homelessness. Homelessness is a persistent issue. Homelessness remains a significant challenge across the world, which many people and families experience. Like, they're experiencing housing insecurity and homelessness due to various factors, including poverty, housing affordability, unemployment, and social exclusions. Second, in recent years, most countries have witnessed a rise in unsheltered homelessness. Factors such as cuts of social welfare, lack of affordable housing, strikes, immigration policies, and limited access to support services contribute to this trend. In summary, to do good, better in homelessness, we must constantly evaluate and refine our efforts by adopting a mindset, continuous improvement, and learning. We all can ensure that every action we take brings us closer to our goal. But each and every one of us have a role to play in efforts to end homelessness for good. Whether you are a social worker on the front line or a concerned citizen lending a helping hand, or all our actions matters. When things are bleak, take comfort in the idea that small things makes a big difference. In The Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell talks about the laws of the few. How any successful social epidemic actually spread by a handful of people with a particular and rare set of social gift. The point is that this can be any one of us. So in conclusion to this, I just want all of us out here to share the love around that we are all one. And also, love is the key. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Bob. In a world that is becoming more divided, where heated political arguments are happening all times, it might seem easier to sit back and not say anything. But your voice matters, your stories matter, because with those we can change the world. Speak for those who can't, for yourself, for your community, for a better world. Stand for what you believe, and we together create a ripple effect that goes beyond and far from this event. Let's keep sharing our stories. Thank you.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to say a huge thank you for everyone who is here today, so let's clap for y'all. I want to thank Your Majesty for hosting with me today. I want to thank Ms. T for allowing this to happen and for helping today happen. Let's clap for Ms. T. I want to thank Rebecca Opasa, who is the lady president, for being here today. It's been such an honor to share this space with all of you. Before you go, please make sure to grab some food. We have pizza in the back, and if anyone is interested in finding out more about the Speech and Leadership Club, come find us near the tables over there in the back. We'd love to meet you. Thank you again for being here, for listening, for being a part of this moment. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and see you soon. Bye.
My friend, everybody.
I'm not winning a life.